YouTube, we are back with yet another video on the Ford Ranger build. In this video we got a lot to cover. First and foremost, obviously, it's a little bit of a change of scenery from what all the other videos were filmed in. I remember I said in one of the videos I was going to take it on a tow dolly here to a garage for the winter. The tow dolly didn't end up working. We ended up just using our trailer. The tow dolly was too narrow by 2 inches. And we just ended up putting it on the trailer. It worked. We used 2 come-alongs, and it took like 3 hours. It might have even taken longer than that. I wasn't even really counting. It was on a Saturday, so I think it was 3 hours, and it was just tedious pretty much because we had ½ inch of clearance, not on both sides, just ½ inch of clearance widthwise total. So you had to get it just right. And it's really hard to steer this thing. You had to like literally jack up the rear end, the front end sort of, just to turn this thing, because it doesn't have the power steering right now, obviously. So, there's that. And then we used come-alongs to reposition it along the way. And it did take a while. We took it off with my other truck that I'll do a different video on. That was that first video, just pulling it off the trailer with that truck. Reason that took it into a garage is because it's January and winter. It's pretty cold here, and it's only going to get colder in February and March, so that's the reason. But enough of that. It's kind of boring stuff. We'll just get right into what we've been doing in the meantime. First foremost, started tracing the wires, trying to figure out why we lost spark. If we figure that out, why, is it an easy fix? And it was not, unfortunately. Some wires down here, as you can see. One of them it's completely burned up to a crisp. And this wire does eventually make its way down to the distributor. So that's why we lost spark. One of the wires was burnt to a crisp. Started tracing it, and it became very apparent that this wiring setup is it's not going to be something I'm going to dive into. There was several wires that just led to absolutely nowhere, like this one. It's the bare wire, that black wire. These are the 2 black wires. One of them was burnt, one of them was not. The one that was burnt kept going down into the cab somewhere, and the other one that wasn't burnt, it was literally just taped to the wire. It was with painter's tape. It was not stripped or anything. The insulation was not stripped off, so it was literally just taped to nothing pretty much. It was really weird. That wasn't all of it either. Started doing some work in the dash, tried to just trace some dash wires. Dash off, and he's got some wires just literally taped with I believe that is electrical tape. It's just blue for whatever reason, and it's just, that's how they're connected, with just tape. One of the wires, I just saw it, and I'm trying to find it. Oh, see, that one's starting to burn up. It's a disaster. And some of the gauges, like the oil pressure sender that had a wire to it, I traced it into the cab, and it wasn't even connected to anything. It was the weirdest thing. And then we have some things literally connected to the fuses with like this. Yeah. I hope you get a sense of what this wiring is. So it was not worth the effort to try to fix it. We just started completely anew, and we just did some research on the internet, how to wire a carb setup. We got this nice ignition panel, HEI, GM HEI thing or whatever, I don't remember what it was called. And we got this wired up to the ignition, to the HEI, to the solenoid on the starter, and then parts to the coil and distributor. And then when we went to test everything out, flip the switch into the hot run position, push the button, the starter worked and everything, which was a great sign. And we did a spark test, and it had spark again. So we got this all figured out. This was totally just for a mock-up setup to try to like understand the principles of how to do it. We're obviously going to be putting this in a cab here pretty soon now that we figured it out. Also, I took the carb off because last time when we went to start it, we noticed that the secondary wasn't working. It was still functioning as a 2-barrel carb because it is a 4-barrel, but you know, obviously you want all the barrels functioning. It's a really old one too. It's a mechanical secondary. I'm gonna be tearing that apart here in a little while. Almost finished the brake lines. Here's one of them. That was from over here to here, and it's gonna go into this union, and then one of them is gonna go down to here, and the other one is gonna go to the master cylinder. So that's nice. Also put in a new alternator. This one is the 1-wire alternator. Way easier to wire up than a 5-wire, and this is also 100 amps, which is really nice because I think the other one was only like 40 anyways. And it's kind of, it's not really a lot. I'm sure it would have worked, but I have this electric fan down here, and I kind of didn't really want to risk it anyways. So, you know, there it is. Nice alternator there. That's going to be 1 wire. Another thing that happened too, as you can see, there's no more flat tires, as you can maybe notice. Did end up getting some new tires for this. These came up on Marketplace for a very good price. I priced these out like a few months ago. You know, how much would I spend if I got all 4 tires and 2 new rims, because the old rims that were on this were he had 2 lug nuts per each rear rim, so it ruined the holes in, you know, some of the rims back there. The front ones were fine, but I definitely needed new ones for the back, and it was going to be quite a lot of money to do this. So, and I found these on Marketplace, so I just bought them now pretty much. I didn't really want to buy them now, obviously, because it doesn't run or drive or anything, but you know, you see a good deal, you take it, and then you put the money back into the build that you saved pretty much. But yeah, these are 37s by 14 and a half and a 15-inch rim. It's quite a lot of tire for half-ton axles, I'm gonna be honest, but I'm gonna send it pretty much. I did put nice 31 splined aftermarket chromoly's in the rear when I did the rear end. Got a brand new rear end back there. So yeah, there's the rear will take these tires just fine, but it's the front that's kind of, you know, that's kind of a question. I did put chromoly's in the front of this as well when I was doing it, so you know, it might hold up, it might not. If it doesn't, I'm just gonna get a Kingpin 60 and you know, adapt it to radius arms. That's pretty much the plan, but we'll try this first. I got it. Do our best. It might work, it might not. But with that, I hope you did enjoy the video, and look out for an actual starting video of this here real soon. And peace out.